I have begun reading Covenant by Ann McMan, which is the fourth, and she says final installment in the Jericho series. And I feel like most lesfic books people have at least heard of it and have hopefully read the series, but just in case not, I think this is one of the more interesting series that I've come across because she did a bold thing. And so the first book, Jericho, is a romance novel, right? So it's between this, like, again, it's one of those, like, if you just throw the name Jericho out, you just hear everybody say, I love Maddie and Sid so much. And it's like, yeah, of course. They're like gorgeous and hilarious. Like, what's not to love? And it's in this like small town in Virginia, or is it the other Virginia? I don't understand why there's two Virginias. It doesn't matter.
Oh, that's right. You're Canadian. I'm like,
Canadian.
What's the problem?
Exactly. Well, I think it's supposed to be kind of Appalachian. Maybe this is where my Canadian is showing. I don't know. I don't really know the geography part of this book, and it doesn't really matter until it sort of matters later on from like the politics of the area.
Okay.
But that particular book it's like small town quirk. You fall in love with all these weirdos. And then the second book is not a romance. None of the rest of the books are the romances. And I think it's really interesting for an author to choose to shift genres. And in this case, though, it worked really well because like Maddie and Sid falling in love is a great way to sort of get an introduction to the area and the characters and to kind of fall in love with everybody in the setting. And then the books start to hit you hard with serious things like talking about immigration and child abuse and homophobia and all these things. And so this last installment is excellent. And I'm not 100% sure where it's going. I think I'm only about a third of the way in. I'm curious to see how everything wraps up, but there's definitely there's a strong theme of girls and women reckoning with a history of bad dads.
Oh.
And it's like a what do you do with that? And at the same time, it also feels like it's really looking at kind of some of the ugliest parts of what Trump did to America, and especially in places like that. You see a shift in the way some folks in town, and it's like none of the people that we grow to love as readers, it's like none of those kind of prominent characters. But the other folks in town, like you just see that attitude shift, the permission that Trump gave for the quiet part to become loud. And you sort of see that in action in this book. And so there are times when I'm not even sure how to say it. Like, it's never too hard. Not for me, certainly. I'm a fairly sensitive soul. It might be for some other people, depending on their own personal past and where their limits are. But I just wonder how it goes from this like fraught, tense, anxious place that the book is right now to how it's going to resolve. That's what I'm really looking forward to seeing. How does it resolve all of that? But how does it wrap up the series?
Right.
So
don't read ahead.
I haven't.
Good.
If you can believe it. I've been tempted to, but I haven't, because I always read ahead.
I know. That's why I'm telling you not to. Don't do it. Don't ruin it.
It's really hard.
Just skate into it and just, end it with a smile or like cry.
Yeah. I'm expecting one or both of those to happen for sure.